Hi everyone, welcome to Arizona's Vision. Dr. Mark Page here at the Ahwatukee office. Today we're going to talk a little bit about macular degeneration. So the statistics now show that macular degeneration is affecting more people than Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, prostate cancer, and breast cancer combined. Now most people don't get it until they're probably 70 years old, but it does begin at an earlier stage for some people. So what we're concerned about is the inside of the eye. So when we kind of do our little fly through here, as we zoom in, we can see the optic nerve, but we can also see what we call the macula. And that's kind of the sweet spot. So when we're reading a book or working on the computer or looking at someone kind of eye to eye, it's that straight ahead focus comes into right here. So we can sort of see in this image that some of these we're seeing little, almost like flakes or like little pieces of rust or almost like maybe a sunburn, where it's kind of starting to peel. So I've got another image here that kind of shows where, okay, it's nice and dark, but over here it's almost like it's peeling. And once it peels away, it kind of affects our straight ahead focus. So once this develops, there is really not much a way of reversing it. So we want to kind of try and figure out, is there something we can do before it gets this bad? So we've also discovered that there's a kind of a shield, almost like a protective layer. So we call that the macular pigment. It's almost like our factory rust protection. So we really realize the sunshine has such a big impact on this condition. As the light goes through and hits the photoreceptors, it can almost create oxidation, or like the rust. So this factory rust protection, it's actually under the macula, so we can't really see it. But we have some other technology. We can measure the thickness. You look into a device and we use the quantify to help understand how much shield, how much protection do you have. Now we also know that with our diet, there's certain ingredients out of some of the vegetables that help create that shield, that protective layer. So kale has the best for lutein, and orange peppers has the best for the zeaxanthin. Now at the Harvard Medical School, they've kind of discovered the zeaxanthin's a more powerful protector. It's kind of a better antioxidant. So the other challenge is with our diet, we have about 20 times as much lutein as zeaxanthin. In our blood serum, there's about 10 times as much, but the center of a healthy macula, there should be twice as much zeaxanthin as lutein. So I've been doing some research because my grandma ended up having this macular degeneration, and probably the last 10 years of her life really wasn't able to see. So I kind of have the genetic concern for myself. So I'm looking at what's the best for me. And with the eye promise here, they actually do have 8 milligrams of zeaxanthin and 4 of the lutein. So twice as much zeaxanthin as lutein, just like the center of a healthy macula. And then the final thing is the sunshine is kind of the electromagnetic spectrum. And we know the ultraviolet rays have a very short wavelength. They have a lot of energy, so they can actually cause skin cancer. But as the wavelength gets longer, it turns into visible light. So of all the visible light, blue kind of has the shortest wavelength. It almost has the most energy. So when they did research, they were shining blue light into the eye, and they could see the photoreceptors start to accelerate the metabolism. And that starts generating additional free radicals. So over time, that creates the oxidation, or like the rust, or the sunburn. So we get back to this condition here as well. So we know the sun is the primary source. We've also discovered that smoking may accelerate that process significantly as well, so not a good idea for smoking. But we've also discovered that this blue light is coming from the electronics. So if we kind of investigate here, we can see the light bulbs. So the incandescent bulb, hardly any of it was coming from the blue end of the spectrum. Most of it coming from the red. So that's why the bulbs got so hot. Now we also see the fluorescent bulb. So that's coming mostly in the green. A little bit of a spike in the blue. But now the new energy efficient LED bulb, that does seem to be more prevalent in the blue range. So there's manipulations that the manufacturers can do to try and modify that, so that needs to be done. But in the meantime, we want to make sure we have good internal protection, we have good external protection, and then the other component is the monitors. So this is kind of the old big cathode ray tube, the old big tube type monitor. And then here's the fluorescent LCD. So it looks like that has the least amount of blue. So if someone stares at a computer all day, we'd probably want to use a LCD monitor. So then here's the iPad with the LED and also the Galaxy cell phone. So we can see those, that backlighting, that bright light, that has a lot of blue to it. So there's a lot of concern, and some of the research also shows that the Harvard Medical School, the Harvard Health Letter, says blue light has a dark side. So light at night is bad for your health, and exposure to blue light emitted by electronic and energy efficient light bulbs may be especially so. So we do want to kind of make sure our eyeglasses have protection up to probably the 400 nanometer. Now if there's family history of degeneration, if there's evidence of any of the oxidation inside a patient's eye, we may also want to consider additional protection. So there's a company, a Blue Tech lens, that kind of has a little special tinting that does absorb certain wavelengths that have the higher energy. Now we want to kind of maybe avoid the completely yellow lens because that blocks all of the blue light. And some blue has been shown to kind of increase our reaction time and also elevate our mood. So we maybe kind of want to try and avoid something that diminishes that. So, but they also have that available in outdoor lenses so we can block the higher energy blue light from the sunshine as well. So there's a lot of advances in technology so we can kind of detect these things and understand at an earlier stage what's your risk. So instead of waiting until it's too late, can we start helping get the proper protection on the external, kind of counsel people about smoking, and kind of creating the right diet or possibly supplementation. So, we'd love to help you, we'd love to help your family. So, we have helped, over 35,000 patients, and we're confident we can help you as well. So we'd love you to get out your phone, give us a call, and let us help you hopefully see something that you may be missing. So don't delay, call us today.